Now going to see data frame. Okay. Data frame is a tabular structure. Okay. Till now what we have seen similar to array, but now data frame is a tabular structure, very similar to spreadsheet. Okay, like this tabular structure, very similar to uh, as a spreadsheet. Okay. So here already we have seen series, right? It has only one dimension. Okay, inside that one that has a index and value. Okay, it is extended to data frame. Here one dimension. Here we can assign to multiple dimension. More than everything is a one series. Okay, it's a column. Okay, so collection of columns, collection of here only one column we can maintain, but here you can maintain multiple column. Every column is a series. Okay, it's a collection of columns, and the similar index also there. Okay, one index and multiple columns. Okay, here actually in data frame there is a two kind of index. Okay, data frame, one is the row wise we are having some index, right? Row, two index arrays. One is mainly for used to here. This one is a index. Okay, it has a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. So this is one index. Another index for column. It has some column name, right? A label, column name, square feet, and a bedroom, number of bedroom, and whether it is a uh, restroom or car parking. So like this, we are having a label, right? That is another index for mainly used for label, column label. Okay, so actually we have a two index. We can access with it this row index. If you want to access any rows, we can use this index. If you want to access any columns, we can use the column index. Okay. Okay, so we can use pandas data frame constructor use to create a data frame. Okay, data frame. So we have a dictionary object. It has a one key and multiple values. One key, multiple value. You can assume you can easily visualize, right? This one is a goes to column section. Okay, so this dictionary, if you visualize it, how it comes, it has a color, and object is another key, color is first key, uh, price is a third key. So this column is getting created, color, object, price. Okay, all the values are getting assigned here. Okay, this is column index, this is a row index. Okay, so if you assign if you have a dictionary with a single key and multiple values, right? So easily we can convert into data frame with this data frame function. So we have a data. Okay, so columns is object. If you assign any this one is we are getting assigning only object and price. Okay, so we can filter out, we can create a new data frame. It has only object and price, because in column section we are giving, suppose you have 1,000 columns. Only thing is you want to select only 5 columns. If you know the column name, you can select it. Okay, you can select only 5 columns. You can do your process everything on the and that data frame. So we can easily read and see the data, what are the data are there. So through data frame. Normally in so data frame, instead of series we can directly use a data frame. Whether it is a single column also we can use. Here similar to series, here we can give some index. Okay, index so label. Yes, everything is because we have to handle. So any programming languages for data handling, they are having some DLL, some packages in there, and right. So in suppose you are working in an backend Oracle. So after getting a querying data, right? So in front end or any in server side code, they want to use. We have to write a program for handling data, right? So we have to hold the data where, because while executing the program, we should process the data, right? For that, every programming language is having their own data structure in their some packages. In Python, pandas are very popular. So inside pandas, data frame object. Okay, so pandas means two touches. The data frame object is extensively used for handling the data. Like a spreadsheet, you can usually see, right, what are the things are the you easily visualize a row and column like a spreadsheet. So we can process whatever we want. The main thing is we are handling now. What we are seeing is what are the different operation we can do. These are the things are basic, but these things are very important to processing the data. Okay, extensively used. Yes, you are right. Okay, index. Suppose if you want to set some instead of 0 1 default index similar to series, we can assign some label. Okay, so it should be created like this. Okay, here we have a index and we know only column. What are the columns we need? We know that. What are the index we want? Okay, column and this index, row index, we know. Okay, we are giving that one, but inside that value we are generating that values with forecast to forecast for matrix. Okay, how to? Anyway, first thing is in data frame parameter, first one is data. Okay, next one is we can pass a index with the uh, so optional parameter index, and another one is a column. What are the columns? Okay, so we are passing index and columns. Instead of data, we are generating the data through 4 by 4 matrix. Why 4 by 4? We have a 4 column, this 4 index. Okay, that's why if you want to fill the value here, what we are doing, so we are generating some 16 digits. Okay, our range from 0 to 16 we have created, and reshape that numpy values, right? 4 cross 4 matrix. So it's getting created, that data frame table. How to select elements? Okay, this is a very important thing, right? So after assigning, after getting a values, we have to select. Okay, frame dot columns only rendering the columns names and index. Okay, so range index, it gives a 0 to 5. Okay, this one is a label. Okay, but the index means it return how many default index, 0 to count, 0 to how many thing. Okay, frame dot values, it returns all the values including the label also getting. So frame dot values here, this one. Okay, before that. Okay, this one. Okay. So we are having a frame object. Now we are selecting frame. So here we are having a color object price. So color object price column is getting rendered. Index it has a 0 to 4. So index is getting rendered. Frame values. So data frame objects having these values. These values are we can access. Columns, index, whatever we can. The data is getting access through frame dot values. particular, if you want to access particular column, okay, you can, because we have in data frame we have a two index, column index and row index, okay. So if you specify the column label, you can access that column values, okay. And frame dot price you can access like this also. You can access through, if you access to filtering condition frame, this one is a filter condition. If you assign price, you can access. But if you want to access more than one column, okay, if you want to get, at the time you have to use one more square bracket price, because in single value means you can pass it directly. If more than one value, you have to pass it in the list like this, okay. So if you practice this one, so you can know more, okay, how to get the values more than one column, because in real time scenario it comes normally more than one column we have to select like. And we can, if it is a single column dot with a frame dot, whatever the column name, we can directly access that also. In various ways we can do. So location based, we can access the index. If you know the index, we can access that location. So if you give some default, it first search a column, okay, price something. But here, if you know the index, right? So if you use LOC location, so you can pass, if you pass the index, so those index values are getting rendered. Here we are passing 2, okay. 2, these values are getting rendered. Sorry. So color yellow, object pencil, price 1.2. This one is rendered. This one is color, object, pencil, price. Like this, it's getting rendered. Okay, more than one value. As I said, right, if you pass more than one value, you have to use double square bracket, because this filter conditions we are passing list here 2 comma 4. We are getting 2 comma 4. This is not remember this one. This one is not a from and end condition. Just we are giving 2 comma 4. 2 items are getting rendered. Okay, we are giving the index values in location LOC. If you use LOC, okay. Okay, so here if you assign a rows, if you assign here, what we are doing, we are using a slicing operator here, start and end, okay. So from here, here you can select from range 0 to how many index, so you can use a slice operator to get the values 1 2 3, 1 and 2 are getting rendered. Okay, so particular column wise, here what we are doing, we are first select column. In that column, we are selecting one some index. Okay, every column has some index, right? Object. This one is having some index. This one is having some index. So in the rows, the entire row is having some index. So you can select in that column, in that particular things you can select. So column name with the index. Okay. So if you want to assign some name for that entire index, right? So you can assign for index or columns. You can assign the name. So here, this index has some name. So ID, we assign some ID. This column is item. Okay. So we can assign name like this, assigning values. So we can assign name for index and columns. So if you want to add any new column, okay, here already in old we have a color object price, but in this one we are adding new. How to add? You don't need to add kind of things function, just directly frame a data frame object is there. Just give a square bracket and give column name whatever. If that column is not there, what it will do is it create new column in that data frame object. Okay, so the new column is getting added here. What is the value here? Value is a 12. So all rows has 12 values. Okay, because a single value is assigned to all rows. Okay, this one is getting added. How to add this one? Simple. Okay, like this we can add. But if you know the values for n rows, we can directly give it in the in array form. Okay, is the new values are getting added. Already the values are getting added. Okay, okay. If you, but what we are doing here, just updating the values here. Okay, or otherwise, if you want to, you can create a new column. The values are getting modified. Okay, here we are having a series object. As already we have series is a one dimension column. Uh, you can directly assign that series into the values of the new column. Okay, the series are getting assigned here. So in different ways, what we are seeing is in different ways we can do this one. So we can change the price values. Okay, it has some version mismatch. That's why it shows warning. So, but here price in the price portion, second index 0, 1, 2. This one is we are trying to change that values. Okay, price column we are selecting this index. So it is getting changed in this frame object. So if you want to check a membership operator, whether it is there or not, okay, we can check. Okay, as similar to series is in. Okay, is in. We are checking one values is there and pen. So we are not giving which column. Entire data object data frame. It this function checks that values whether it is there or not. If it is there, it return true. Otherwise, it return false. Okay, in the real-time scenario, definitely there is a task is there. Okay, so we have to check whether that values is present or not. If the entire object, entire data frame object, we can check. Simply, if you use the is in, we can check whether it is returned true. We have a pen object, that's why it's returned true. 1.0 is returned true. Okay, this one is, other one is also true. Just a second. Frame, we are using this one. Okay, already executed. So it has a pen 1 1. That's why it's returning true. Okay. So if you execute this one, we are checking 1 and so this pen is there, 1 is here. Okay, that's why it's written. So this one is a filtering. We can use this condition in filtering condition. Okay, if you use that one, the values are getting rendered. So pen and 1 0. After getting this one, we can remove none values. All the values having this pen and 1, that rows are one. We can extract that rows alone. Okay. So we can do, but whatever is returning true or false is none and membership operator anything, right? We have to use inside the filtering condition. Then only we can see the values. Otherwise, it returns only true or false. In real time, if you want to delete any column, you can use a delete word directly. If you specify the column name, is getting deleted. And based on the some conditions, okay, so frame object frame data frame object, so okay, inside that one if you put any condition, right, you can use any condition. Frame object, whatever the values is greater than 1.2, those values are getting rendered. So sorry, less than 1.2, that's why it's getting rendered, other values are getting none. So you want to select only having so you can none values, you can avoid, you can filter that condition again. So is none, if you use that one, only the not null values are getting rendered. You can use is none or not none. Based on that, you can select only having values other than none. How to use a nested dictionary? We have a nested dictionary. Okay, dictionary key is there. Inside values, we are giving one more dictionary. Okay, we are having one more dictionary. So nested dictionary, we have a dictionary key and value. Values is a one another dictionary. Like this, we have a key and values is another dictionary. So nested dictionary. This ones. If you can create in a data frame with the nested dictionary, just pass the nested dictionary. What happens is this main key is getting assigned to the column, name, right? Dictionary, right? It has some key, so everything is assigned into the row label, okay, index label. So this is created as a index label. Okay, here one difference is here 2012 is there, 13 is there, but 2011 is not there. Okay, for red. Okay, see here red, it doesn't have any value. That's why it says none. If it is not there, it is none values is assigned. Transposition. So transposition, we know that transpose. How to create a transpose? The row is getting converted into column. Column will be converted into move to row side. Okay, here every all the rows is going to in column area, the columns comes to here row. So okay, vice versa is getting changed. That is certain. We can transpose the data frame.